Hi, it's your psycho buddy. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder, or CPTSD, differs from standard post-traumatic stress disorder in that PTSD can be caused by a single event. Complex PTSD is often caused by a great many events, big ones or little ones, and it's also often comes from a childhood of abuse or neglect. Another difference is flashbacks are different. So whereas with can be different, I should say. Whereas with post-traumatic stress disorder related to a single event, like a tsunami or witnessing a car crash, you may have nightmares of that event. Whereas complex post-traumatic stress disorder caused by a childhood of neglect, you may have emotional flashbacks, which are weird. It's like you are in a situation and suddenly these emotions start dictating your behavior that don't actually make sense. So when I know about this because I read about it after I had the problem where I would be getting my 5-year-old ready for kindergarten. And I would get really stressed out and really upset and often quite angry because she wouldn't put on her shoes or because I couldn't get a sense of urgency across to her. Which, duh, she's a 5-year-old. Eventually, I can't remember how, but I identified it as an emotional flashback. Because when I was a kid, my father, of whom I was afraid, would get really angry when we were all trying to get ready, and there were 5 kids when we were all getting ready to go somewhere. He'd get really angry if we were running late. And so my brain had taken that, it's time to be somewhere on time, I'm in danger, reaction, and I would get super stressed out and angry. For me, the way to deal with that trigger was once I realized that I was in a traumatic reaction, that I was responding to a situation that wasn't happening, I was able to diffuse it with logic and the help of my 5-year-old. Well, my 5-year-old would be like, Mom, does it really matter? And I'd be like, oh yeah, it doesn't really matter. And that, for me, allowed me to get over it and stop yelling at my kids. So hooray!